It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, let's review.
We'll analyze the scene.
Sounds holly jolly to me.
Before it's over, let's begin.
Bum.
Bum.
That's right, folks. Since the Christmas season is upon us, we thought the way to celebrate and get into the holiday spirit would be with some holiday reviews.
Six to be exact, selected and arranged for your Yuletide pleasure.
So, silver up those bells, light the multicolored lights, and go out and build a snowman as we engage in some
Seasonal shenanigans! Woo!
All right, we have Little Blue Reviews 400. I like the change up there. Eli is saying, "Welcome back, Tiki." Indeed, and it's good to be back, Eli. Although I'm here in body, but I'm still exhausted. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. We'll plug along. So, Dragon, correct me if I'm wrong. Tonight we're talking Prep and Landing, the Snowball Effect. This is the third Prep and Landing short.
Well, first of all, it's a snowball protocol, not the snowball effect.
Oh my god, I'm so. And literally earlier today, I had it listed as the Snow Patrol.
What
So
is wrong with you?
that just goes to show where my mind is at, Dragon.
God,
But is this the third one?
it's the third like proper special. There was a short, so it's the fourth. Honestly, it's the fourth.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, with Prep and Landing, I've liked all of them. I don't necessarily find them to be like particularly memorable, but they're always good. You know, they've always got a good bit of humor to them. I do like the characters. I think in this one, the three main characters definitely shine. With this one, I will say that I think the kind of the anthology thing, where it's like we get two stories kind of mixed together into one. I think it works, but it's kind of veering on that kind of like Disney direct to DVD sequel territory where it's like, hey, we'll just cobble a bunch of shorts together into a loose narrative. But I think both of the shorts work, and I think I think the framing device is nice enough. It's got a nice ending, so I like this. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. I don't think this is going to become like a holiday
You mean
classic or
you
anything.
mean it didn't break new ground?
No, it didn't break new ground. No,
Yeah,
did not. But it was nice. It was nice. It was good. I enjoyed myself.
yeah. So look, I loved the original Prep and Landing shorts. I really feel like
I
they
kind
helped.
of feel like the first short and then the first special, like it's hard to top that. That's kind of where I'm at with this series. It's like I'm always glad to see the characters, but I don't necessarily know if we need to keep going with it at this point.
I mean,
Not to say that this is bad, just to say that I kind of feel like we've already got the best out of this series that we can get. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So basically, with the original Prep and Landing shorts, I really feel they helped usher in Disney's that revitalization period of Disney, like the Princess and the Frog era, like 2008 and 9. That's kind of when we got this. So it was a big like flag of like, hey, we're back and we're really trying this time, and like, hey, we have we're doing an actual honest to goodness Christmas special, and it went pretty well. We got more of them.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, they had charm, they had artistry. I think I think it's a rare occasion in which we witnessed the makings of a new Christmas classic. It's no Klaus, but it was like it was the warm up for Klaus.
I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like it's more so got its DNA rooted in something like Arthur Christmas.
Oh, sure. Well, I don't know, but again, this
Well, I'm
came.
just saying with the whole idea of like the elves having this whole kind of like organized structure to them. I'm not saying it's one to one with Arthur Christmas. I'm just saying the way the elves are presented is vaguely similar.
All right. Anyways, the point being, I was hyped for this, and as I watched, I kind of had a Phantom Menace deflatement.
Oh no, really?
I
Oh
had one of those. I mean, let me put it this way. Okay, I'm not. Here's the thing. I
see,
found
I was trying like I like elements of this, but I was trying to be positive. I didn't want to be a downer. But yeah, I think this is just okay,
I just
honestly.
basically I found this to be, let's say, suboptimal.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It was passable. Listen, if the other ones were A's, this is a C. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's passable. But look, it's no. Here's the thing. It's good. It's passable. It does the trick. It's nice, simple, easy breezy. But it's
I think
nowhere
there's
near.
a couple really good gags in here. I think there's a couple really good character beats in here, but I mean, I agree with you. It doesn't really come close to matching the other ones, I think.
It's nowhere near as good as the past three.
Uh-huh.
All right. All right. So as far as background goes, not a whole lot, but just to kind of sum it up. So we got the original Prep and Landing in '09, and then basically for at least 3 years they were kind of coming one after another. You had the original in '09. You had the short, the Mrs. Claus short with Betty White in it,
Right, right, right.
which was great. And again, I remember that was kind of a deflatement in a different sense, where it was like, oh boy, a new Prep and Landing short. It's only 5 minutes. Where's the rest of it? But it was great though. And then, of course, we had naughty, the naughty nice one with Nola's brother, and that again, great, great three shorts, top tier. And again, so we were getting them annually, and we had Kevin Dieters and Stevie Wormers working on those. They were the creative team, and these were like journeyman story guys from Disney. They were story guys on Tarzan, Emperor's New Groove, and even Zootopia. These guys get around. They're still with the company and everything. But I, here's the thing. So there were plans for a new short after 2011. Okay, so presumably like either for 2012 or just somewhere in that time frame, there were plans for a new Prep and Landing short because they were doing pretty well and people liked them. But they got canned in favor of Olaf's Frozen Adventure, which I believe took a little bit more time. And cause think about it. So by the time they're working on, they're contemplating. I would imagine they maybe took a year off or something, or like it was in development. So I don't know if it would have made the 2012 thing or not. But you had Frozen come out. And Frozen was such a huge hit. It was like, okay, drop Prep and Landing. We need Olaf. We need Frozen.
You know what? Let's just like I kind of feel like I always feel like I need to defend Olaf's Frozen Adventure because it's like they made the stupidest, most boneheaded decision with that to put it in front of Coco in theaters when it really shouldn't have been. It should have been a standalone thing. I feel like it got a lot of bad blood right off the bat from fans, between the overexposure of Frozen and just that. But I got to tell you, man, I do think Olaf's Frozen Adventure, one of the better pieces of Frozen media. Like, I really do think that short encapsulates Christmas and does a really good job representing the characters. I am a fan of that short.
Well, yeah, I love Olaf's Frozen Adventure too. I love Olaf's Frozen Adventure. My point is, I think one of the reasons I think we ultimately love Olaf's Frozen Adventure is the Prep and Landing guys were put on that project. So Kevin Dieters and Steve Wormers, they directed that. They worked on that.
Uh-huh.
So the point being, they were taking off Prep and Landing, given a different Christmas special in the interim, which probably took a little while longer. So that's what they were assigned to. But in the time that passed since then, Dieters and Wormers, they were put in Monsters at Work season 2, which is why season 2 is so good, by the way, until the very end.
That actually really checks out. Yeah.
So sadly, it was kind of a mix. I want to say it aired on the side of too little, too late in terms of, hey, we don't have anything on the slate. Let's bring back Prep and Landing. But at this point, Dieters and Wormers, they're put on other projects. Presumably, at this point in time, they were working on Monsters at Work season 2, and they weren't. That's why they're only like executive producers on this. So, unfortunately, like our Santa Claus actor, he passed away. We had to recast. I'm not saying the new guy didn't do a good job. Just we had a really classy actor who played Santa. I completely forgot who we got to play. We had I think it was W. Morgan Shepherd played Santa Claus, and this guy I know from Mad Men. He had his one episode thing on Mad Men where he played Lane Price's father in a very memorable few scenes. It was my god. Class act. He's been in other things too. That's my go-to. Lane Price's evil British father. But Point being, it's just a lot of time has passed. Unfortunately, Prep and Landing has kind of fallen by the wayside in the years since,
I hate to
sadly.
say it, but like my vibe with this thing is, and again, there are certain beats of it that I like. I don't think this is like terrible. I don't think it's god awful by any means. I think it's okay, but I get the distinct vibe that this, because the first three very much had a lot of passion behind it, whereas this kind of feels like studio mandated Disney Plus filler. I hate to say it. Do you get that vibe too?
Like you're kind of. I wouldn't call again. I wouldn't just like rail. I know, obviously, you always kind of your go to is the Moana 2 thing because it was so egregious, and I get that. But this is it's somewhat of it. I don't want to just kind of label it that. I don't want to call it like it's just the new way we're repackaging these, which hopefully will not be the case, but who knows? But this, I think, is also a little bit more of like it feels like a rush product. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
what you're saying, but I don't want to just label it like it's the whole Disney Plus the video problem.
I'm not saying it's the same thing as Moana 2, because Moana 2 was kind of the opposite. It was meant as like a Disney Plus content, but then they were like, no, let's actually put it. What I'm saying is more so like Disney's just basically just kind of like half-heartedly like, yeah, sure, make another Prep and Landing. Why not?
Yeah, I just feel like this was more of like, hey, instead of like thoughtfully do with the people who really love it and they were really
Exactly.
on. I'm not so here's the people they put on this. They had worked with the guys on Monsters at Work and they were other story people. I'm sure they're good in their own rights. For example, these are talented. They've Shane Slavin is the director. He did Dave. He worked on Dave the Barbarian, the Tangled show, and Monsters at Work again along with the writer Hillary Helding. So again,
I've heard
presume.
really good things about the Tangled show.
Oh yeah, and look, I mean to get to that. I
Yeah.
liked what I saw. I'd never really I haven't got my boots on the ground on that one. It'll probably be anyway. Like for example, if they do the Tangled live action, out of spite I will watch the Tangled animated. you know,
Gotta catch up on the lore.
it's like, hey, how dare you insult Glenn Keane's proof that animation can
Uh-huh.
can top live? How dare you? So. Point being, look, it's gonna sound like I'm coming down hard on this. I'm only coming down hard by comparison to what we've got, not by what we have. What we have, look, is fine. It just feels like
a 6.5, 7 out of 10 compared to a 9 out of 10.
it feels like like we didn't have the original creatives, and it's written all over its face that man, this is like one of these things is not like the other. Even with the 5 minute short, it's like man, the 5 minute short had a lot more class than this. And it's not that this is bad. It's just like this is just like something they churned out versus like that they hand carved an ice sculpture with the other three and put it on and like, froze it in amber and put it on a shelf.
Right.
Anyway, so that's it. Let's kind of break it down.
Okay, so we have a little bit of a framing device here where we are reintroduced to the two main elves, and I don't know, Dragon. We get this whole thing where Lanny, the whole the tension of like Lanny thinks he's best friends with Wayne. Wayne thinks that they're just coworkers. I gotta tell you, man, this point in the series, I kind of feel like I like the resolution of this well enough, but I kind of feel like we're past this point in their relationship. I kind of feel like this was like the baseline of their relationship in like the first short, but by this point, they should be good friends. Did that bother you as much as it bothered me?
It did. It did occur to me because there was a thing about this, like the perfectly naughty nice one.
Like I understand that Wayne is the more cynical of the two, but still.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that we saw like them kind of hanging out somewhat casually, like Christmas shopping together in like Naughty and Nice, which is a friend activity, it's not a coworker activity. So I think we pretty much established, like there's time has passed, they bonded, and this just felt like overall, Tiki's piggybacking off that. Like overall, just felt like we did backpedal on Wayne's development, specifically Wayne. Because Lanny's like a static character. Lanny doesn't really. I mean, he gets better at his job. He doesn't really like change who he is. Wayne has a great arc in terms of he was like he's the kind of disenfranchised kind of like clock in clock out clock puncher guy.
I'm not gonna lie, even in this, I still think McGee is the MVP, and I've always thought that.
Do you know who voices McGee?
Oh God, I should, but tell me.
Sarah Chalk, who also voices
I don't know.
Beth Smith from Rick and Morty.
Okay, well that's not like exact. I kind of fucking hate Rick and Morty at this point, but that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, you can hate it. You can hate modern Rick and Morty. Again, you made us do a whole recap show on it, so you might as well.
Yeah, and we gave up on it at
Yeah.
exactly the right time, Dragon.
Yes,
Exactly
yes, we
the
did.
right time.
I'm just saying, though, for the times, the good times you had, the insistence on, no, we have to talk about Rick and Morty. You know?
If I had my way, we'd be doing a Smiling Friends recap show. Until that inevitably goes down the toilet.
That's the thing. So you see, that's the put us in now, and that's why we're not talking about Smiling Friends.
Oh God.
Okay, my point. Anyway, so I will say this. So we have like, Sleigh Ride Together at the top, which is again a tradition. I initially saw it with the whole Phantom Menace comparisons, like, okay, we're starting with like the crawl. It's like this is how all the prep and landings start. We have like the Christmas scene, the classic Christmas music playing, and then I think the opening of this is fine. Okay, so we have the tradition alive. So far, so good. We see Lanny and Wayne in the middle of a mission, and it's not going. We have a pretty good joke with it addressing time has passed, and we're in the smartphone era now, so we've addressed this with the Gingerbread Man software.
Sure.
The little communicator, which is like, well, wait, did you put your password in? This is like like Christmas 123 or something. And just then of course turns into like explodes and it turns into like fireballs, which ends a domino effect. It pops the decoration, car alarm. It's like the antithesis of like from what we saw these guys being really effective what they do. It's like this is not good. Initiating the Snowball protocol, which is like it's shush.
You see that right there, just them struggling with modern technology, Dragon. That could have been the whole damn short, and I think it would have been better for it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And in the background, that's kind of the direction if you looked at it, we kind of had a little bit of that with like some of the background gags in not any nice. I keep wanting to say just the first one, the second, because everyone forgets about the Mrs. Claus short, but technically it counts, especially now after this, it counts.
I mean, it's got Betty fucking White, of course.
Yes! It's got Betty White.
I mean, Betty White as Mrs. Claus, there has literally never been a more perfect casting choice ever.
Yep. Anyways, I mean, look, the opening is like what I'm expecting. It's like, okay, this is a great start, and then okay, so after the mission, then we're hitting like the old like, okay, I thought we got past this, where Lanny invites Wayne,
right,
Christmas with the family and everything. He says no because they're co-worker versus you should hang out with your friends and family. Like, oh, okay. So McGee is grilling Wayne about the GBM, the Gingerbread Man communication device, and then we Dave Foley. Let's give credit where credit's due. Dave Foley MVP. To me, the MVP. I love Dave Foley's one of the underrated comics, man. He's one of the underrated like comedic performers. I love him as Flick in A Bug's Life, and just the other things he's kind of popped up. And
no, you're right. He is very underrated, and he is a very good voice actor for Disney for sure. I do appreciate him.
Because he was really funny in News Radio, which is why he was in A Bug's Life.
Right.
He's a very gifted comedic performer. I was always delighted that we put like basically the redheaded, not that it's bad, but the redheaded stepchild in terms of the Pixar film no one ever talks about.
You know what? And I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think A Bug's Life 2 is one of the most fucking viable Pixar sequels they could do, just because so much time has passed, and I would love to see how they would animate it nowadays.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just throwing that into the universe. If we gotta have Pixar sequels.
As I said, Bug's Life is always like the underrated Pixar film. It always got.
Dude, low key, I fucking love A Bug's Life. All right, I don't care what anyone says. Great.
Yep, I told you the story, right? Where when Incredibles was coming out, and they did like from the studio, brought you this, and that. All the Bug's Life crew got a little depressed. So what they did is they threw themselves like a little Bug's Life celebration. They got like John Ratzenberger.
Oh, I forgot about that though. Yeah, when it was like from the creators of Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., not A Bug's Life.
Yeah, that's what they got disenfranchised. They basically threw themselves kind of a celebratory rap party. Here's what they did. Honestly, they did a dramatic reading of A Bug's Life script amongst themselves. Really funny, it was like MASH, like a wartime drama kind of.
I
It
mean,
was
a
really
Bug's
funny.
Life brought us the candy corn meme, if anything
So
else.
you had Joe Ranft when he was still around when doing this. Joe Ranft, he basically did like the dramatic, almost mash like reading of "Oh, candy corn."
Oh my god.
You might be able to find footage of that actually, but yeah, it's anyway.
Oh man.
Or actually, you know what? I think it wasn't the candy corn line, but you can imagine. He basically did the like the one of these days I'm going to be a cute little butterfly,
Right,
a beautiful butterfly, but it was like all depressed.
right.
Anyway, so point being, McGee is just we had some really great Dave Foley kind of barbs here. The whole McGee, your presence is a gift.
I think the
I
reason I like McGee so much is that by and large, her dynamic with Wayne is very news radio coded.
oh yeah, oh for sure. I mean, she's the coffee addicted, kind of his Roz Doyle, if you will. It's very
Exactly,
Roz.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so your presence is a gift I'd love to return, which is it's really clever. So the big guy wants to see you both, but he wants to see Lanny first because he knows Lanny's going to tell him everything he wants to know. And then, oh boy, Wayne, he's going to be again. This I'll give you this. As far as the anthology goes, at least on paper, I can see this working. It's the idea of like, okay, so Wayne is at a disadvantage here. It's more of a premise for a scene than it is like a framing device, though. To me, like that's a great premise for a scene of like, okay, Wayne. It's almost like a like kind of a wrinkle in a Saul Goodman scheme to me, and I love that.
Right. And I mean, like, just to give credit where credit's due, I think the anthology element of this it's one of the elements I don't really care for. But at the
I
same time, it's like, it's not awful. Like, for example, when I think of an awful anthology thing, I think of like Atlantis Milo Returns or something. That's legitimately terrible. This is fine. I mean, baseline fine is pretty much the word I would use to describe this. Really quick, Dragon, we got Teddy in the comments. He's saying this thing is in a weird spot where in my brain where I both remember it and don't at all. Well, Teddy, this is a brand new prep and landing short. This just came out, what, Dragon, like a couple weeks ago, something like that?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So maybe you're talking about the prep and landing series in general, but what we're talking about tonight is pretty much brand new. So just so you know. Anyways.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing: with the frame device is kind of a double-edged sword. On one hand, I was a glass half full. It's an element that we haven't seen yet before, but you could look at it as okay. This would be a way of like cramming in all the prep and land. We've seen prep and land do really well in like a 5-minute short capacity with with the Mrs. Claus short, and with that in mind, you could be getting. Imagine we got a few of those. It would be a way of getting what we missed out on all the years they've been busy with Frozen and all the other stuff that was not prep and landing. So that's the way. Initially, I was like, well, they could go in that direction. I'll give them some rope here. And on the flip side, it's like this is breaking the format of prep and land. It's one concentrated, really quality Christmas story, and we have stripped them of this. It's now been bifurcated to half the effort.
Yeah.
And maybe it kind of airs on the.
Maybe if there would have been like 4 or 5 of them and they all had the same sort of quality as the Betty White one, maybe that would have been.
That would have been the best case scenario, yes.
Honestly, Dragon, I think the fact that there's 2 of them, I'm not going to lie, that bothers my OCD a little bit because it's like there should be 3 because there's 2 of them and there's a framing device.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be 3. Does that bother you as much as it bothers me?
The whole bifurcating of prep and landing thing does bother me because it didn't feel like a full anthology and it didn't feel like
exactly. Yeah.
It just felt again half-hearted in all senses of the word. There.
What it kind of reminded me of? I'm not sure if you've seen this. I don't think you have, but kind of vaguely reminded me of The Secret Life of Pets 2, which I know is kind of a random pull, but that's another movie where it's almost like it's not following like different stories as far as like short stories, but it's like all the storylines in that movie are very disparate from each other, and it's just kind of like, okay, guys, like this would have been better if you would have just connected it a little bit more. I don't know.
All right. So, what was it? Oh, right. So another thing too, with the in which we're breaking format here. So we have a rather imposing Santa Claus here again for the gag of like, okay, Wayne thinks Lanny has maybe gotten in the hot seat here, and he has no idea. He has to kind of walk on eggshells here, so he hasn't like copped the wrong thing.
Mhm.
And it's just that Santa, he's just so imposing. It's unlike the other shorts in that he was more fatherly and maybe stern than imposing. Like it was always a thing
Right,
where we saved
right.
Santa for the end, and he would call him into the office for a fireside chat. You didn't know what he was going to say, but you knew again Santa Claus. We shouldn't be really scared. We're just
I mean, Potter's on the brain since I've been in Universal for a fucking week, but he almost kind of had like a Dumbledore quality to him, from what I remember,
yeah, kind of, I guess.
like aloof father figure.
Sure. I mean, he took the job. He was the boss. It was kind of the boss slash kind of father figure kind of thing.
Uh-huh,
Here it's
uh-huh.
like it's more of like, okay, boss who was going to fire you mostly. Anyway, so he's hyping up though. And he told me about your big secret, which leads to a panic and the admittance of other infractions, trying to make the current one seem
I'm not
less
gonna lie,
than.
I think this is like a weak sauce setup to have like anthology. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just kind of like, okay, like we need some reason to tell these stories.
yeah.
What's
We
the
need
reason?
Santa to put on a record about Bongo the bear. That's what we need him to do.
Oh God, oh no, not Bongo Dragon, anything but Bongo.
Well, here's what you have. You have the Santa sits Wayne down. Okay, Wayne, I'm, I'm going to put on a record. It's not music, but it's something I think you'll like even more. It's the
Correct me
story
if
of
I'm wrong, but I'm
Bongo.
pretty sure I listed Fun and Fancy Free as my the worst Walt Disney Animated Studios
I don't know if
movie.
you made it the worst, but it was really low. I mean, what?
If I didn't, I stick by that though.
Well,
I think
come
that movie's
on,
fucking
you can't stick.
awful.
Don't stick by that. Come on.
Okay, Bongo is fucking awful. Bongo is genuinely one of the worst shorts
And you
that.
said Chicken Little was better than than
Oh,
that.
I will stand by that. Chicken Little is better than Fun and Fancy Free. Absolutely, I will stand by that. Chicken Little's not a great movie, but it's got some nostalgia points to
What
it.
about Jack and the Beanstalk? Edgar Bergen, man, come
It's
on.
ruined by the fucking creepy dummies, Dragon. I don't know what to tell you. I grew up with a version of that short. Oh God, we're getting off track here. But I grew up with a version of the
I'll
short.
remind the folks the end of the Muppet movie was in
Dragon, do you,
gratitude
do
to
you
Edgar
remember the
Bergen.
Walt Disney Favorite Stories Collection VHS tapes? The red ones. Do you remember those?
Well, was Ichabod Mr. Was
Yes.
then yes.
Because the thing was the Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Wind in the Willows were separated into two different VHS tapes.
The Willows.
I was the Willow. Oh God. Okay, so the version of Mickey and the Beanstalk that I grew up with was that favorite stories collection, and I'm pretty sure it also had. No, it didn't have Prince and the Pauper on it because that was a standalone. But it did not have the weird fucking framing device with Charlie McCarthy, and that framing device ruins that short, anyways.
Anyway,
You want to just do a whole Fun and Fancy Free podcast at some point?
uh,
Because it is a fascinating train wreck. It really is.
all right. So, okay, so the point being, so we have a framing device here. Again, I suspect they what I think happened behind the scenes is that they had nothing, and I was like, okay, well, we can't come up with one really good story that can top what we've done already. Like, we've already done the best stuff, so we have to come up with like what are some vague stuff that we can run with a little bit here.
You know what? I have a simple solution here. Just have fucking Lanny babysitting Nog as part of the vacation storyline.
Hmm.
It's that simple.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so we have Operation Eggnog. So it's 4 weeks.
Nog.
So it's 4 weeks prior. It's 4 weeks prior to Christmas. McGee calls Wayne Lanyon to babysit her pet Arctic baby seal, which I got to admit, it does feel a little bit like babies are in right now. Let's have a baby seal.
Right.
Yeah, our babies are cool now, Tiki.
Dragon, even the new Predator movie has a fucking Grogu stand-in.
That's what I'm saying, man. Baby Yoda has. We haven't seen a baby craze like this since the Rugrats, man. The babies are
Oh
back.
God. Well, I mean, and remember the Rugrats was almost kind of like bouncing off of the whole like baby Looney Tunes, like Muppet
Yeah,
Babies trend.
yeah, it was an epidemic.
Tom and Jerry kids, Flintstone kids, Pup Named Scooby Doo, which was the only good one.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it really was the only one. Why can't they re-release that one? That's what I want to know.
All right.
All right, let's see. Okay, so the point being they're babysitting Nog, the Arctic seal, whose full name is Commodore. I think it's Commodore Charles Eggnog the Third or Eggnoggington the Third. Which again, every time I hear Commodore with a pet name, I am thinking of Kim Possible with Dr. Draken had this deranged poodle, which was Commodore Fluffy Paws. Sorry, no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking something else with Fluffy Paws. Commodore Puddles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just funny. Where did Commodore come from for dog names? That's what I want to know.
Whenever I hear the word Commodore, I just think of Commodore 64.
Because I'm thinking of there's Commodore Puddles from Kim Possible. I think Legend of Tarzan there was like Commodore Fluffy Paws, which is where I was pulling that from just now. Anyway, so he's not feeling well. His tum tum's not feeling well. Tiki.
Oh God.
So Nog, so she's taking Nog to work, and he's teething on like little curly shoes, and Wayne refuses at first until, and I'll admit this gag's pretty funny. McGee tantalizes him with the promise of her mother making him some of her famous Christmas lasagna.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, that's basically just recycling a Garfield gag. Like, I don't know. It's whatever to me.
I don't know. I'm just saying of all the Christmas things you're imagining, all sorts of other Christmas delicacies, but a Christmas lasagna.
I guess so.
Anyway, well, I'm looking for anything here, man. Don't let me have the lasagna. Why can't I have the lasagna? Anyway, so big rule: no fruitcake. That's kind of like the dogs and chocolate thing. Even if it maybe we're like dogs and other foods, but the point being, we can't give the seal fruitcake. Loves it, eats it. It ain't gonna end well. It doesn't. So anyway, so she leaves, and of course she threatens like if anything happens, she's gonna snap like a candy cane. So the 1 hour on the clock. Wayne opens a window. Guess what happens? Seal's gone. It's a chase scene.
I do like the timing of like the seal disappears like almost immediately.
I
It's
will.
just like what could possibly go wrong? We just have to watch it for now. Oh, he's gone already.
I'm going to say this, okay? In comparison of the two shorts, the Operation Eggnog one, there's the chasing the baby seal. That feels a lot more Prep and Landing to me than the next one we're going to get to. It does feel a little bit.
I will agree with you on that, although I will say that I think the next one had like I laughed a little bit more at the next one, but you're right though. I mean, just by the nature of it being set in the North Pole, it does feel more Prep and Landing.
I'm not saying it's got some world building. We got we have a chase. There's some action. Anyway, so they're chasing chasing Nog through the fact through North Pole, trying to get him back. But this gag I thought this was pretty funny. It's a random gag, but it's pretty funny. So it hitches a ride on Janice's mail cart. Janice is an ex of Wade's, and we have this really funny flashback of why she doesn't like Wayne.
This is the biggest laugh of the whole special for me. Yeah.
So this tracks. We've seen ever since the first one, though. This is the most Prep and Landing joke of the book. So Wayne is a bit of a ladies' man. We've seen him. He's flirting with the girl when he thought he got the promotion in the first one. So it tracks, and this seeing and the plus this isn't taken away from his development now. This is showing we don't know when this happened, but so he hired carolers to break up with her.
Right.
And here, come get your stuff. Well, it was her favorite song.
So yeah, that was a good laugh. It was
like a Larry David moment for Wayne.
A little bit.
All right, so they catch up, and then this joke's pretty good too. The whole thing, like no seal, and he says, "You're right. what I want, what I need isn't here. Just takes this as an insult. I'm dating somebody on my nice list. All right, let's see. So yeah, the hitches are on the gondola ball to the toy factory, chase up the tube. I can pay enough for this, yada yada. So we're in the fruitcake factory, with a little ski sequence. And Danny Putty from Community, he's the fruitcake chef, and it just feels like, well, someone must have been a Community fan in the room. They just let him riff.
Right.
So Nog eats get the tension from prepping landing here. Nog eats the fruitcake. It's really artfully designed. We got to give him points on this fruitcake. Did look rather tantalizing, didn't it?
It's basically like a fruit wedding cake. I would.
Yeah, it's like fruit cake designed like actually good looking cake instead of just a big loaf of just disappointment. I should have been a sugar plum dancer. I don't even know if he has a French accent, but it was just unmemorable. So, I did love this joke. Mrs. Claus has a book, and this is, even though Betty White, obviously, she's passed away at this point, Mrs. Claus book club luncheon. But, it's a little nod.
Sure.
Okay, so they race back in 5 minutes, and Nog's getting a little green in the gills. And this is where, seriously, up until this point, I was giving him some rope.
Not a fan of the vomit.
I hated the vomit joke. I really did. It was like, this.
How else were they going to resolve this, though?
What's the thing? They get away with it. They didn't make him sick.
Yeah, no, it's a bit lazy as a story. It's just kind of like, okay, he eats something he's not just supposed to, and then he throws up, and all is good after that. Like, yeah, that's kind of the way that food allergies work. If they're non-lethal, I would know.
Yeah. So it's just an unnecessary gross out gag to me. It just throws up into Wayne's head, and he puts the hat on. It's like, oh, I did not.
I agree. That was a step too far as far as the gross factor. Yeah.
It's like, guys, we already have the fruitcake joke. We don't need to step over the line with it, and they did. And it's just, I was very disappointed. The last thing I want a prep and landing special is like a vomit joke. I don't need that. Okay, vomit's not Christmas. Unless you're the opening scene in Violent Night. Aside from that, vomiting's not Christmas. Anyway, so she found a new babysitter. I hate fruitcake, yada, yada, yada. I do love this detail. This is great, okay? So in the framing, I love that Santa has is basically all of his milks like set up like bourbon.
Right.
I thought that was awesome. That was a great idea. Like, yes, so the Mad Men design of Santa's office. That's fantastic. And he has like the nutcracker.
Landing.
He's got like the nutcracker, like deshelling. If you're gonna make Santa like kind of a little intimidating or boss like for the purposes of the story, that's the way you do it. So we have the Yuletide Island snow globe, which is our foray into. He's stammering. He brings that one up. So then we have the Yuletide Island short, and it's not great.
I mean, for me, I could relate to this one a little bit because, I mean, obviously, when I go on vacation, I go into like military fucking drill sergeant mode with the trip planning. So I could totally relate to McGee in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, it's not much, but the gag of like Wayne, he's trying to relax, and we get the kind of like tropical version of Silent Night, and just the repetition of that. I thought that was funny enough.
Well, let's
I'm drawing at straws here, Dragon. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Look, so we have so again, in terms of the prep and stuff we haven't done, this is where it really feels like where they came up with the idea for this. It feels like, okay, what have we not done? Like, okay, tropical Christmas. All right, fine. How the heck do we do a tropical Christmas? Well, they take a cruise as like their R&R after Christmas. So
but that's the thing, that it's not even a Christmas special at that point. It's literally like set after Christmas. Did that bother you?
That did bother me too.
Yeah, I feel you.
So this is what I'm saying. This is the most. It's just
kind of like, okay, at this point, we're just treating these characters like it's not. We're kind of getting away from the identity of what this series is.
Just the most unlike prep and landing element short of the whole thing. It's not Christmas. They're not in the North Pole. They're not in like the human world. Nothing. It's just like There's no stakes. There's no stakes at all in this at
Well,
all.
if they want to explore a tropical setting, they could just have it be like they're delivering presents to Hawaii or something,
Yes.
you know?
Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're not on the job. There are no stakes. I'll admit I like the design. I like the design elements of this one. If you're gonna do like the whole Yuletide island, snowmen,
Right.
like sand snowmen on the beach. I love the little drinking cups, like the little snowman. I want that snowman drinking cup. But aside from that, Anyway, so Wayne.
I'll tell you what did not work for me. What did not work for me at all was the guru massage therapist.
I know we'll get to Renato.
Yeah,
We'll get to him.
yeah.
Let's facilitate. So Wayne wants to relax. Very understandable. McGee is like the uppity cruise director. She's got the
She's basically
itineraries.
Tiki, let's be honest.
Yeah, I did. I'll admit. I'll give him this. Okay, the joke about like it's laminated, so you can take it in the ocean. That's pretty good. I'll give him that. That's pretty funny. So we had the sunscreen buddy, which I mean, does make me think a little bit of the moving buddy thing from Toy Story. So that's good. Still
Oh God. It reminds me of better things.
Yes. It's not much. Basically, we got socks for Christmas on, but not cool socks. We just got standard
Dragon,
socks.
I just want to say I'm so glad that you and I are on the same page about this, because when I was watching this, I was like, I know that Dragon is a really big Prep and Landing fan, and I hope that he sees that this is mid the same way that I do, man, because I do not want to just go through this podcast being like, yeah, that was funny, I guess.
Are you just admitting that you placate people on the podcast? Is that what you're just saying now?
I mean, I don't. I look. I mean, you know me. I could be cynical. Like, I'm just saying. Like, I don't like to be a downer, though.
Right.
Anyways.
Okay, let's see. So we have Wayne in the hammock with the coconut drink, and again like little Christmas tree umbrellas, and later on the snowmen in the montage, which I like the
Did
design
you not
work.
like the Silent Night, the tropical version of Silent Night? That got like I said, that got a laugh out of me.
That's okay, I guess.
Fair enough.
All right, anyway, so I don't have problems with the vacation gags with Christmas. That's fine. I don't have any problems with that or like the cruise director thing per se. It's just that none of it feels like stuff we should be doing.
Right.
So we have the gag of like McGee. She's interrupting him like with the megaphone, like the volleyball, the jet ski rides, Wayne. Yeah, which that does feel honestly that was the most Tiki like moment that I could see. Like I'm sure Paragon felt that one. Yep. Just imagine like Tiki just like barge in the room with like like a megaphone. Oh, all right, we're gonna do some theme park stuff today.
Oh God!
Up and at him, Mr. No Show, up and at him. Don't make me play that Link Hog Throb clip. I'm up.
Pi and I actually did meet up and played around a mini golf when I was on my trip.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Feel like golfing with Larry David.
Oh God.
All right, so let's see. So anyways, he gets covered in sand. He's kind of fed up at this point, and Wayne McGee. There's arguing about the itinerary, and again, like Wayne's making a very valid point. Just let people do what they want to do on the trip. Why do they have to ruin this for me? And she gets distracted by Renato, which. To me, that was the moment. Okay, the vomit was already wavering me. This was the moment.
I mean,
this is when I knew
with this character is that we've seen this same exact sort of character so many times. It's so played out.
This honestly, Renato was the moment where it was like in the Phantom. This is, it's the moment where okay, you're not crazy. This isn't working.
Yeah,
it's like, oh no. It's like that was the dread moment of like, oh, no, they botched it. No,
basically was it the
it.
Mr. Plinkett like, oh no, oh no.
Yep. Like, oh boy. So, just the dumb. Here's the thing. Here's why I think there are many reasons this guy doesn't work, but here's to me the definitive reason. Okay. Fundamentally, this guy is a dumb new age joke versus the classic timeless, like we could be a new Christmas special kind of vibe.
Well,
that
like
Prep
I said,
and Landing has.
It's one of those things where it's just we have seen this before so many times. It is so played out, and they're doing nothing original with it.
Yeah. It just feels very phoned in. It's just not great.
Yeah.
All right, so again, it feels like we've pulled. It feels like we've pulled from like a very like from couples retreat or something set around Christmas. You
Oh
know, it's just
God. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're not wrong.
I kind of like couples retreat too, but that's
Or like forgetting Sarah Marshall. This guy's like a very lame version of that character.
yeah, pretty much. All right, so Renato basically, he's Wayne gives basically again he basically treats Lanny like crap, which again feels very reductive.
Uh-huh.
So basically, it gives away Lanny's spa day, spa Navidad, upon spa Navidad appointment. Wayne says, I'll take over the cruise director stuff. You and I schedule. Just tells everyone to have fun. And yeah, so in theory, that should be the end of it. Okay, there's your joke. We don't need to follow that up at all. But that's it. Okay, should be fine. These are grown-up elves, but instead they're running around like wild children. Basically, they've turned it into Firefest randomly for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I don't understand why. I mean, look, it's just everyone should be able to relax now. At least relax and show up for dinner on time. It's that simple.
No, this did nothing for me. I don't
So-
even know what. I don't even have any commentary for it. It was just like in one ear, out the other.
Yeah, the Christmas yoga poses, and I'll admit, I'll give you this, like the peppermint candy. Again, it's very cheap jokes, though. It's like the peppermint candy, like instead of cucumbers over the eyes, just ringing seeing him ring. Those people in life that you just get. There's kind of a way about them. It's nothing personal against them. You just kind of hate them.
Yeah.
I could feel that when Renato was like, doing like jingle bells or whatever, like with all like the fancy bells with his feet and everything. I want to punch that guy. I want to kick that elf. I want to drop kick him.
Sure.
So anyway, so we make Wayne a jerk. He's pawning everything off to Lanny, which again is a very pre-special one move. Before the first they ever meet each other kind of thing he would do. It's a missed opportunity. Honestly. To me, Tiki, here's what I would have done to fix things, at least a little bit, given what we have, okay? Maybe, as a through line, through both specials, Wayne is acting like a jerk because his birthday, as we reveal later, his birthday is on Christmas, and he feels like, I never get to celebrate my birthday. I'm a little embittered.
I mean, my birthday was literally yesterday, so I can kind of feel that.
Well, every day's your birthday, Tiki.
Okay. I don't know how to respond to that.
I was genuinely curious how you would respond. Let's throw it out there and see where it landed. It's like, I wonder how he's going to take that.
Like, objectively, no, it's not.
Anyway. No, but seriously, that would be give him a reason to have a bit of a chip on his shoulder and would be maybe a good connective tissue thing, far better than am I going to get fired? Anyway. So, it's going to Bedlam. McGee is in her happy place, which is working. We have a random musical number, which is not a bad musical number, but again, Prep and Lang never had musical numbers. Why is this here?
Yep.
I love Buzzley Berkeley and Coco. I love that. That's great, but we don't need it here. Anyway, so Lanny's basically dealing with Firefest to set it around Christmas time, and he's sunburnt, and his sunscreen buddy has failed him. Wayne cops to it and everything. Renato pulls like an ocean Yuletide exit. Bullcrap. Wayne thanks McGee, and he apologizes, and he basically admits that she's right. That snaps her out of it. Coffee schedule, Bullhorn. She's rallied the troops for a feast, And it's pretty much like he apologizes to Lanny. He's gonna give him some aloe for old sunburn. That's pretty much it. And then we kind of wrap things around. Santa reveals, it's not about the Snowball protocol. It's because Lanny told him that Wayne's birthday is on Christmas, and he never got the attention he deserved for it. And I'll give him this: we did, I think. I want to say maybe we set up his birthday, but then again, that was probably Christmas. So scratch the point I just made. But then again, his birthday is Christmas, so maybe it counts, maybe it doesn't count. We're not going to focus on little details like that. The point being, He gives him a card that everyone is signed, and Lanny even is edited to from friend to coworker, which was a nice. Again, I think at the very end,
that right there was probably the best emotional beat of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like, okay, brief glimmer of Prep and Landing right there. Like that's the usual emotional catharsis. Everything about this, every special, everyone ends with a nice emotional catharsis where Santa calls you into the office and you learn your life lesson and you're better for it. And we kind of have that here. It's unearned. We didn't earn it. It was a lousy journey. Nice little archway on our way home. Lousy way getting there. So Wayne, again, kind of ripping off. Admittedly, it's nice, but it's ripping off like what kind of the nice, like have yourself a merry little Christmas return in front of the house kind of thing. Wayne joins Lanny for the party, and this is a genuinely classy bit. Happy birthday, Wayne! And Merry Christmas, Lanny. Again, this feels like Prep and Landing, but it's too little, too late. Put that on the bumper sticker. And McGee didn't sign the card because she didn't know, and she's upset with Lanny for that. And that's the end of the special.
All right. I mean, I kind of feel like our reactions sort of speak for themselves, Dragon. It's like I said, I am relieved that you weren't just kind of like objectively like, oh man, like it's Prep and Landing, so it's got to be good. I mean, again, there's certain elements that I like. I don't think this is like an Atlantis Milo Return style train wreck by any means, but it's not great, Chief. It's not great at all. It's far and away the worst of the Prep and Landing specials for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't have much to add.
I mean, look, it's passable, but it's going from like something very artfully, crafted to like it was like a regifted, like kind of dollar store gift. That's kind of what it ultimately kind of But I want to say that's in comparison. Okay, I've seen worse specials. This does the job. It does the trick. We have like glimmers of Prep and Landing, but believe me, I was going to show this to my buddies at the Christmas get together I'm having. I can't show this, and I knew I couldn't show this. That's the thing. I warned them. My buddies are animation nerds. They're gonna rip this thing asunder.
Right.
And I warned them this, like, guys. I know we were going to, but I gotta warn you, it's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not. It's a step down. So I had to break the news to them that way. So. It's not fun. It's definitely, it's just my grandmother. Okay, we watched this together. No. Even she shared the same sentiment. I didn't like it as much as the others.
That's bad. It's bad when even grandma doesn't get into it.
It was like, it was okay, but not as good as the others. I was like, yep, okay, I'm not crazy. It wasn't just me. All right. It was like, yeah. Wasn't feeling it. Again, it's objectively, it's not terrible, but clearly it was missing the creatives involved in this. Them producing it, that didn't cut it. We need daters and we're directing this puppy.
All right. Well, I think we can pretty much go out at this point.
All right. Well, let's see. So we should thank the folks and give them a little peek.
Indeed. So thanks to Teddy, and Eli of Little Blue Productions for joining us in the comments. And yeah, Dragon, what's up next? Genuinely, I don't know.
Yeah, because of that, I'm going to have to keep it very vague. Okay, I'm going to shake the box. Oh, you hear that? Oh, do I hear the, do I hear familiar tones about certain bears wearing certain apparel, or shaking it here? What is that I'm seeing? Am I seeing? Am I seeing a chainsaw with a Santa hat? Oh, could that be it? I don't know. I don't know, folks. Could go either way. Could be an animated classic. Could be something that Tiki and I have no idea we're getting into, but we know one familiar face. We know that face.
I genuinely don't even know what you're talking about.
All right. Anyway, look forward to something maybe live action, something maybe animated. Coming around the corner, maybe. I don't know.
Those are the two mediums that we cover.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
You want to take us out?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I was about to. It was just I'm just letting it sink in. All right, folks. Time to dash away. All but as we wave goodbye, don't you cry. We'll be back again next time
for even more seasonal shenanigans.
Fa la 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 la.
So come get your stuff.